in the dark.
See the shadows. This is like a basement party.
Yeah, it is like a basement party. We got the wood paneling just to set the mood.
Dig it.
And everybody kind of go around and introduce themselves, so we're all friends, not strangers.
I'm Dave, I play the guitar.
I'm Mike.
Spit on your mic here.
Pat on drums. Spit on that, man.
I'm Rick, on bass and background vocals.
And I'm Ryan.
Alright, so we're all friends, that's awesome. So you guys have a show at the Cowan tonight, formerly known as Top Golf Live. Anybody going to that show tonight? Yeah? Good.
We got a woo.
Good. It's so awkward when I get like two people be like, woo, and then everybody else is like, I don't have tickets, are you gonna give me tickets? And I'm like,
That's kind of what just happened.
Thanks guys, I feel great. No, I'm just kidding.
Ah.
You have a show with, I saw just a couple days ago that you have a show with the Dead Deads. They're a local band, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we were just out with Stone Sour, and they were the band before us, and we just got along with them. It was just like a short run. We're like, we're playing Nashville. You guys live there. You want to play? And they're like, sure. So
Oh, that's
how that
perfect.
happened.
Worked
They
out,
make
so you
us
guys
still
are
alive, so it's great.
Yeah, they are still alive.
No, they make us still alive.
Still alive.
The Dead Deads are still alive.
Good one.
Are any of you golfers?
Terrible.
Maybe
More
today.
putt-putt golf. More of a putt-putt, yeah.
I've never been to Top Golf Live, or Top Golf, so is it like indoor? Can you do it in the rain or no? You can do it in the rain? Perfect, challenge accepted, guys.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it in the rain.
See what happens.
And you've been to Nashville a couple times, so have you established like a go-to bar, restaurant, anything like that while you're here?
Well, ironically, we used to record here. Like all our independent records, we used to come down here and record down here. So we go to the Red Door Saloon, and we go to Winners and Losers, of course. Like that whole area, we were always stomping around in
Hanging out in the Midtown area.
Midtown. That's it.
Midtown.
I don't think the mic unless you just want me to.
Go ahead.
You guys are huge System of a Down fans. How have they kind of influenced your music to help you move forward as a band, if at all?
Do you want to fill in?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's because they did what they wanted to do. Like, there's not another System of a Down, right? They took chances. They have Terracotta Pie and songs like that. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean by that, right? So I think in a way that's inspirational to just focus on what it is we like about our songs, what it is the chances we want to take, parts, how we think they should feel, and then just let what happens. You know, and I think that gives bands longevity and it makes them unique and stand out, and I like that a lot.
And I think that kind of goes along with why we started calling our music Thread in the first place. It's because, you know, when we first started the band, people were like, oh, describe your sound. Describe your sound, which to me is the dumbest question you could ever ask. It's like, well, that's why we record it, because you can listen to it. And what it sounds like to me is not going to be what it sounds like to you. So to describe your music is dumb. So we're just going to call it Thread. We're not an alternative band, we're not a rock band, this is our music. And if we want to write a really soft song or a really heavy song, we're going to do it, just because that's what we want to do.
That's awesome, man.
I'm so happy I didn't ask that question. So happy. We got room for a couple more. Does anybody else in front?
I did hear an interview like you didn't want your music pinned to one certain thing. Now that's got to be hard. I always, and I'm old, I think it's Kiss doing a disco record. And they got pumped with the disco record. And I know, like, I seen you at Alter Bridge, and y'all was really great, which Alter Bridge is, But, and you did the Alanis Morissette song, so I'm thinking, do you ever go to the Hard Rock, or where do you want your music to actually end up? I know once you hit the peak or the summit, you want to be on one station or another. I don't know.
I think that's...
Where do you see yourself?
I think
Do you
that's...
see yourself more of System or Down, or more of Cage the Elephant? Or?
Well, I think that's our point, and you brought up the station, and there's no offense to any station, but I think that's our point, to not ever write for a genre or write for a station and be like, oh, we want to get on that station, we're just going to write music. This station wants to play it, that's amazing. This station wants to play it, it's also amazing, but we're never going to write to try to get there.
Yeah.
Ever.
And there's the System of a Down as an example. Ask a System of a Down fan or somebody what they think that band is. You're going to hear rock, you're going to hear metal, you're going to hear this, you're going to hear that. You know what I mean? So it really, that label just doesn't matter. That was kind of our...
Music's so hard today to really pin it. And if you don't get in it, like a certain area, it's like, do you know what I'm saying? That you're not really trying with this. Oh, well, Y'all sound great.
Thanks, man.
Great.
Thank you.
That's important, man. If you like it, doesn't
That's
matter
what
what
we're
you want to call it.
Acoustically, it's a sure sign.
All right, we're on a roll here, guys. Anybody else got a question over here?
My son's too scared to ask. He wants to know when your first song was ever released.
I guess the other side would be like the first song that was like, and we've had like independent records before we released ourselves, but our first like national and international release would have been the other side. That would have been 2015.
Yeah. And the first song I read on the radio, You'll Never Hear, and I don't even remember what it was called. Remember the first name of that song? One station in Ohio. About
Maybe
10
it was
years
like
ago.
Beautiful Suicide or
I
something.
don't know. You'll never probably.
Must not have been important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big hit.
Came and went.
Came away.
Multi-million-dollar selling hit is no longer.
No longer.
Oh, no.
You got any more questions from the audience?
Hey.
There's the microphone. Anybody else in the audience have any questions for the guys?
Yeah, I got one. Is your set list from night to night vary, or do you sort of just go for, here's our tour set list, or do you sort of feel how you want to play that night? And super props for the Steel Panther shirt.
Yes.
I think in general it's there's like a general outline of like, okay, here's how the set flows, because we have some certain transitions that we like to put in there. But yeah, we're always adding songs, we're taking songs out, replacing songs, swapping them out. This set list has already changed a few times, and it's only been like the second week of the tour, so.
Yeah, we don't want to get bored. Yeah.
And then as the tour goes on, like I said, now that the record's out tomorrow, we're gonna start putting more of the new songs in and swapping out for old ones. So that keeps it fun for us and for the fans.
So see that you guys have a busy schedule coming up in the next few months, fair festival season. See that you're going to be at Rock on the Range. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, especially for us being Ohio boys.
You guys aren't Blue Jackets fans, are you?
No.
No? Are
We
you
grew up
sports
in the
fans?
in like Akron, Cleveland area, so we didn't really have a hockey team growing up.
Okay. Do you guys follow March Madness at all?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Do you? Because we have this thing going on right now called the Buzz Bracket Brawl. We have just, it's just like instead of basketball teams, we put bands up against bands. So that's kind of our thing that we do every March. So do you mind if I maybe ask you a couple of bands, which ones you prefer?
Sure.
Okay. Like we had Guns N' Roses against Red Hot Chili Peppers. Who would you pick?
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N'
But
Roses?
I love the Chili Peppers. But Guns N' Roses, I think, just created more of a movement.
A little bit more influential, you'd say? What about Stone Temple Pilots or Chevelle?
Let's see who it is.
Stone Temple Pilots? Okay. What about Highly Suspect versus Gary Clark Jr.?
That's tough. They're very similar in a lot of ways. The bluesy rock.
Yeah?
Gary Clark Jr. for guitar, Highly Suspect for songs.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And what about Cage the Elephant versus Greta Van Fleet?
Cage the Elephant.
Cage Elephant. Yeah. They got like the Rolling Stones vibe going on.
Okay, all in favor of Cage the Elephant?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What are you guys listening to now? What's good?
Wow.
I got a whole list of things.
Well, what were you listening to this morning, right?
So Right Said Fred. It's kind of like my theme song. It's no big deal.
Every single day on the bus.
I don't know. We try to get these guys going. Listen to everything.
Our band had this joke for a long time where if we were opening for somebody who we looked up to, when we went out to play, if our green rooms were near each other, we'd leave the most obnoxious song on replay. So like Baltimore, like Tarzan Boy, Right Said Fred, and for some now we listen to it.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah,
It's not so much a guilty pleasure.
it's not even guilty anymore.
Yeah. We just let people,
Past that point.
people know.
Yeah, we're playing it cool now, but when the Right Said Fred comes on, these guys are dancing.
Get serious.
Mostly now it's a party. It's just me.
Just
No way I'm disco dancing.
What about you guys? What are you listening to?
And last night I was listening to some sad songs. I don't know, 2 weeks into a tour, I started listening to sad songs, get depressed for 2 days, cry myself to sleep, and then I'm good.
The Rockstar
Last
Way.
night was, what was that song? That Say Something song? You know,
By Justin
I
Timberlake?
listened to that, I was listening to like Paramore.
I listen to a lot of female vocals too.
Regina
Like you mentioned,
Spektor.
Regina Spektor. I guess it's because we're playing rock every day, and like everything's like loud. You know, when we get back on the bus and we get in our bunks, at least for me, I put my headphones in and listen to something like super calm and chill.
Zen vibe.
Yeah. Unless we're at the gym, that's different. Like then it's like System of a Down or something.
Oh yeah, that's.
They get pumped up.
Well, cool. Does anybody in the audience have any questions for the guys? I'll run the microphone over to you.
Don't be shy.
Not all at once. Damn.
I have a question.
Okay, hang on.
Talking to the microphone. I love the song Emotionless because it's so dark and twisted. So I just want to know what the background. Did somebody like have a cool dream and wake up and write a song, or?
Yeah, that's. It's almost like you read about that. Yeah, it was a dream that I had, and I told Ryan about it, and he was like, "Yeah, that's kind of messed up." So we started writing about it. But the cool thing about dreams is you don't really know what they mean. So as I get older and as I continue to just live experiences, you know, it starts to take more meanings for me. So I think the meaning of that song is ever changing because it came from a dream. It came from, you know, the subconscious. It's not really like I sat down and this is what I'm going to write it about. So that meaning changes for me a lot.
Well, my microphone is dead. So if anybody else has a
Just
question.
yell them out.
Scream as loud as we can.
How
We
does
can
it
hear
feel playing an acoustic set versus when you're on stage with full amps, everything?
I mean, we write like this, so we enjoy doing this. I mean, other than the fact that everybody's been sick for a week, it's fun. It's fun for us to do this.
Yeah, I would say it would depend on what time it was as well. 7 a.m. compared to now is
Yeah,
much
12:30
better.
acoustic set is a little.
Noon's not bad.
Yeah.
I got a new microphone. Does anybody else? Raise your hand. I'll run the microphone over to you.
Up front here.
Can't hear you, man.
What's your favorite venue that you played at so far?
That's a good question. Well, we've done the Ryman here, which was awesome,
Yeah.
legendary. That was a blast, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What was that O2 place in Russia? It was indoor, like 6,000.
It was a hockey
Yeah.
arena, wasn't it?
Tour
Hockey
on
arena?
Tour on
Oh, no.
Poland
It was
was
like an
great.
indoor venue with like 6,000 people.
Yeah, that was our first stadium show. We got to open for System of a Down in Poland, and that was just like
That one was great too.
I think it was more not so much the venue, but the way they made that stadium feel like a club. Like people were
Yeah.
just going nuts. It was like it was so inspiring. So like that memory of that venue will always be ingrained in me. I think.
Are you a System of a Down fan?
Oh, yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
System of a Down.
I can't imagine, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
saw
I
them
think we
at
actually-
least like 4 times overseas. We saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
It was a
exciting.
big,
That was
big influence from
Wow,
us,
that's
I
really-
think, the harmony choices, because we were jamming on System of a Down for
Yeah.
so long.
We got to see some cool things over there. We were playing Rock am Ring in Germany, and Audio Slave, or what do they call it now? Prophets of Rage,
Yeah.
bring Serge Tankian on. They do a tribute to Chris Cornell, who just passed, and they did Like a Stone, and there was not, including us, a dry eye in place. It was
Oh
incredible.
yeah, it was
Yeah, it was pretty insane.
I was, so glad to be there. Let alone play there, but that was amazing. So yeah, System of a Down fans.
Also sure.
Yes, we wanted it to be released here in Nashville. That was the original plan.
Perfect.
But now it's going to be released in Little Rock.
Boo.
It's all right. If there's anybody from Little Rock, don't take offense. It's okay.
We don't have any Little Rock people here, right? Crickets chirping? Few crickets? No. What do you guys do to celebrate a new album?
we talk about that?
Do you like do a midnight countdown or anything?
Next
No, I
question.
mean, yeah, I mean, this one will just kind of high five each other before we play.
Right at midnight?
It's weird because every time we've gotten any kind of, release something or, I remember the first time we hit #1 on the radio, like we were always on the road, so we never could really truly celebrate. It was just kind of like, all right, cool guys, let's play tonight.
Do you download your own album like at 11 p.m. on iTunes?
I might buy it.
Back in the day when you were lined up at Walmart?
Got it first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah. Is this album any different from Polyester Zeal at all?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. When Polyester Zeal, when we were writing and recording that, it was just Ryan and I on the end there. And we've known these guys for years though, so when we got that record done, we were like, we need guys to tour this now. So we called these guys and longtime friends, and so they're not just random dudes we found.
I'm actually pretty ready.
Yeah. So we put the band together. We toured on Polyester Zeal for 2.5 to almost 3 years, and even those songs started to evolve just because of the chemistry of the band. So going into recording and writing Thread, you know, their influences started to bleed into the sound, and the sound evolved. And I think we really wanted to go after more of a raw sound that was more authentic to what we sound like live, and which is why we went with Matt Hyde to produce it in the first place. So you'll definitely hear that difference for sure. It's authentic. It's the band playing their instruments. Not that it wasn't before, but it's a full band playing all their instruments on the record.
Yeah, it's a growth in a way.
Yes.
So when you do that live, like tonight at the Cowan, what's the balance between like old songs versus new songs? Do you like to do a balance of both? Do you like to promote the record and do more new songs, or what's the strategy?
I think right now we have a few of the new songs in there. I think we're doing 4 right now, and we didn't want to overwhelm people. This is our first headline tour, really. We've done a lot of headline shows. It was our first full tour, and we didn't want to overwhelm people with a bunch of songs they didn't know. So, you know, it's a good mix right now, but now that the record's out tomorrow, and as the tour progresses, we're going to keep putting in new songs.
Yeah. Do you do any cover songs though?
Every once in a while, we'll do a cover song, Uninvited by Alanis Morissette. We do quite a bit.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. I remember when I was on the air, it was one of the first times I played The Other Side. Somebody called and said, who's that band that's playing? They sound a lot like Alice in Chains. So I was wondering, because we had Greta Van Fleet in here, and we asked them, do you do any Led Zeppelin covers? Because, you know, those guys have a little Led Zeppelin feel. And they're like, no, we don't. So I was just wondering if you did an Alice in Chains, since you guys sound like you might have a little
No, because I
there.
think that would be the obvious. That would be an obvious thing to do a song like that. So we like to do something that's a little less obvious.
Yeah, and going back to your new album, who was in charge of the album art? Because Polyester Zeal, and especially this new one, has some interesting art on the cover.
I wouldn't say there's anybody really in charge. It's just kind of like we talk about it as a band and like what kind of feel do we want for this record. And we really like to keep with the illustration theme and embracing the art of the album cover, which I think is missing, you know, today. So we usually get together with an artist and kind of just ping pong ideas back and forth until we get what we want to see, and so far we've done well with that.
Okay, awesome. And you guys were in Johnson City last night, correct?
Yes.
Was it rainy there too?
No, it was nice.
No, of course.
It was great.
That's always how it goes to Buzz Session Day, and it's a freaking flash flood thunderstorm going on. You guys are going to be at the Cowan tonight. You got some pretty exciting upcoming tour dates. I want to talk to you about that a little bit later, but do you want to do another song in the meantime?